So in this video today, we're talking about how people can quietly undermine you in conversations. So like right out of the gate, let me say that sometimes people have habits, and they are unintentionally doing this. And so not everything that people are doing is with the aim of undermining you, quietly undermining in conversations. But in most cases, that's what it is, judging of who the individual is and what your relationship you have with that person. You might really just pick up on what their aim is, what their intentions are, what they're trying to do, And so let's get into it, What are the signs that shows that this person is trying to undermine you quietly in the conversation, So I want to talk about 3 ways, and the first one is where this individual talks over you, meaning they are interrupting you. When it's your turn to speak, they just want to speak over you consistently without any respect or excuse, And then the second one is where they downplay your ideas, If it's a group conversation, when it's your turn to give an idea, you're giving an idea, they downplay it, or they downplay your achievement, And the third one is where they just use jokes, sarcasm that's directed towards you. Now, let's break it down. Let's go into detail with the first sign. How are they interrupting you, How are they talking over you? And so you might have seen this, You start a conversation, you start saying something meaningful and they jump in, they sort of interrupt you, and then they are talking over you as if you were not talking before them. That's one way they interrupt you, And when this happens, your point doesn't get across, your point gets missed. And that is their whole point, to dominate the conversation, to be the ones talking and minimize you basically in the conversation or in the group discussion. Yeah, so in most cases, this is done to control the whole conversation. There's people that are very controlling like that, and in most cases, it's because of that self-importance. They want to feel important than everybody, so they are dominating the whole conversation. Don't ask me, because I don't really see how that benefits you as an individual in the long run, basically. So then what can you do about it? If you pick it up that this person is undermining you by constantly cutting you off, they interrupting you when you speak, and their intention is to minimize your presence. What is it you can do to actually get your point across? So basically, all you can do is remain calm and composed. When you talk, you reclaim the flow and actually just say your statements more slowly, more comfortably, more confidently, and then you want to do it intentionally for them to notice that they can't quiet you, basically. They can't quiet you down, or they can't shut you up, basically. Now, sign number 2 I mentioned was when they downplay your ideas or your achievements. How could this happen? Is when you start sharing some of your achievements, or you start sharing your opinion, and they go like, or their response is, yeah, no, it's not a big deal, or they say things like, anybody can do that, All that is designed to minimize your importance or your presence and put the spotlight back on them. So this is basically a very selfish individual doing this to you. And so what can you do about it? So one thing you can do is to be mindful of yourself and make sure that you are not over-explaining your successes or your opinions within the group discussion. Don't don't prove yourself. What you can simply do is stand within yourself, within your value. Let each and every other person in the group realize that you are actually important and you are an asset to whatever organization, whatever friendship, just that basically. See the value within yourself and don't feel the need to over-explain yourself. Try to perform for each and everybody in the group to make them see how important or your value or what you bring to the table or whatever situation that is, Let's jump into the third one. Okay, now the third one was them using jokes or sarcasm at your expense, And so what happens is after teasing you, after joking at your expense, they say, I was just joking, and they say that because they don't want you to be upset or confront them, or they tease you, and the objective is to make you feel small, to make it look like you're a small human being, an individual compared to everybody else in the group, And so when you pick up on these jokes and sarcasm that are directed at you at your expense with the intention of undermining you, so what you do is, because you feel bothered, you don't want to laugh along, You clearly want to make it sure that you are bothered. And then after that, you could address it directly, let them know that it's not welcomed and it's sort of bullying, it's not okay, and that you will not tolerate it. Just let them know that you don't play those games, basically. Yeah, but that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys in this video in regards to how people could undermine you in a conversation and what you could do about it. My hope is you learned something, you gleaned some sort of value from this video that you could implement in your organization, your workplace, your relationships, whatever it is. I don't know. Do you like this type of content? And if so, type yes in the comments, letting me know that you appreciate it. And if not, I have an email in my bio. Write me an email, even in the comment section. Let me know on what you think will bring more value to this channel as we build this K-Field community. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. I see you in my next video.